Welcome to Tales of Hope, where every paw print counts. Anil, Matai in the house, spreading love, hear the sounds. Every week animal stories, rights and welfare in the mix. Step up, take action, we're giving animals a fix. Tales of Hope, raise your voice, make some noise. Change the game for every animal, girl and boy. One world, one fight, let's turn the page. A future for the voiceless, bring hope to center stage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, India reveres cow, yet you see so much of neglect. How do you communicate with communities where traditional conflict with modern animal right ethics?
And in India, many traditions already emphasize compassion, ahimsa, which is like deeply rooted in our culture. So instead of confronting beliefs, we build on them. When it comes to, say, cows and buffaloes, for example, we highlight how the beef and leather industries are largely able to exist because of animals supplied to be killed, by the dairy sector. By sharing the truth, we encourage communities to consider that true devotion means protection, not exploitation of animals. Our goal is never to attack tradition, but to evolve in a way that aligns with kindness. A great example of this approach is the growing use of our robotic elephants, like mechanical elephants in
Yes.
ritual. Yeah, it's a custom which was started by PETA India, and these beautiful mechanical robotic elephants allow communities to honor tradition without causing pain to real animals, to live animals, without causing any pain or distress. And it's proof that we don't have to choose between culture and compassion. We can celebrate both, with creativity and heart. We can celebrate both.
Very true. I think given the Indian culture is so rich, what you rightly said, ahimsa, there are so many spiritualities. If you look at, in India, we have, Lord Shiva having Nandi as his, and then we have Kal Bhairava, and, with the dog out there. We have Durga Ma with a lion, a tiger and a lion. So I think in Indian culture, it's so rich. All we have to do is align ourselves. What you rightly said is just aligning, and we're not attacking any tradition, any religion, but it's just like, I think over the years we've forgotten.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And it's so important for people to, just spare a thought, just think for a minute and see what we are doing. If I have to give you like a comparison or an example, it would be like elephants. We worship Lord Ganesha.
Yes.
Half elephant and half human.
Human.
And then at the same time, we are okay riding an elephant or keeping them in chains or captivity. You just have to think about it. What are you doing? We are all God's creation, and we just have to just be a little kind and have that compassion.
I'll just point out one thing, which I always say. We are all Gyanis. All we have is Agyani moments in our life. It has been a very, I've been having this for years, and I've realized it is we humans, because we've forgotten our alignment.
Yeah.
With all the culture that we've got looking at the West, we've forgotten how rich our own culture was, which has got so exported to the West, and we are trying to get all the wrong notions from them. So that is all. I think all we need is just a small knock and reminder every day that, hey, we need to just go back to our roots, and lives will be good for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, how do you see the urban-rural divide playing out in terms of awareness and compassion for animals?
It's there. The divide is there, but social media, like I said before, social media has made the world smaller. Even people in remote villages are online these days, and nearly
Yes.
everyone follows stars and influencers online. Thanks to all the social media platforms. And it doesn't matter where you live. Compassion isn't rural or urban; it's universal. And we can all choose to put out, do simple actions like choose to put out a water bowl for birds, or we choose to wear just leather-free fashion or like clothing or just choose not to eat animals. So PETA India also runs a mechanization project in Delhi where we help laborers transition from horse and bullock carts to e-rickshaws. The carts that they use for their work, and we help them transition to e-rickshaws. And this is like a classic win-win situation for both the animals and the families who were using them.
This is something I think a lot of people are not aware, because even I was not aware of what you just mentioned. I think it's just the awareness also needs to be created.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen any shift in public attitude towards veganism and cruelty-free living in the past decade?
Totally. Actually, vegan eating started in India, and and compassion is a mandate for citizens under the Indian Constitution. So, and India has a strong foundation when it comes to animal rights, but westernization means an increase in meat eating, the rise of cruel, crowded factory farms where animals used for food and fashion are raised, and other cruelties. Uh, this is actually ironic because while India has been so much influenced in this direction, the West, having been inspired by India, is going more vegan. They are following, they're following yoga, which is like an Indian thing. So yes, the West is following what India used to do, but yeah, that's one thing. And also, did you know that eating vegan is very much an Indian concept? There's a Himalayan tribe, uh, the Broca tribe of Ladakh, and they were said to be vegan some 5,000 years ago.
Wow.
And moreover, vegans are they are simply vegetarians who eat purely plant-based, like no dairy. And vegetarianism also originated in India. It started influencing the Western world's eating habits. I think in the fourth century, and ahimsa is an ancient Indian concept. That is the heart of Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. And so many practitioners, of these faiths are vegan because of their belief in the principle of non-violence, and which has also kind of influenced people of other faiths and other nations. So yes, vegan eating, vegetarianism is very much, and ahimsa is very much an Indian thing. So we don't have to look up to the West. It's founded over here. It's born in India.
Absolutely. But have you seen any shift? I mean, have you seen people switching over? Because, sorry, this is going to sound controversial. I recently read India is the biggest meat exporter, when it comes to cow meat, especially.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. So have you seen, because you've been with PETA India, so have you seen the real shift happening amongst the people that, we genuinely believe? I mean, I know it has been in our roots, but do you see people, because you interact with a lot of people on daily basis. So do you feel, and from your website and all these places, do you see the change happening in the last decade?
Yeah, and then over here, I would like to, give like a personal, speak from my personal experience and something that I have witnessed, like because
Absolutely.
I started 20 years ago. Then, we started this whole vegan campaign, and that was like a term that people were not aware of. So, whenever like we used to go to like a place, like a restaurant or somewhere, and ask for food, vegan food, we had to like tell them that, like they were not aware of, like in restaurants they were not, because they were only vegetarian and not vegetarian, and we had to, like tell them exactly what vegan food was, and and explain by saying, oh, we don't need any dairy, like no ghee, no butter, no cheese, and and 20 years later, I see there's so many restaurants that are only vegan,
Yes.
or restaurants that have vegan menus, or they mark their food vegan, and there are so many businesses that are thriving and coming up that are plant-based, vegan. So there definitely has been a shift, And I think one of the reports also says that vegan market is going to just like be
Yes,
booming. So there is definitely a shift. People are getting more and more aware. Yes, like you said, India is one of the top beef exporters, and that is all thanks to the dairy industry, because of which animals are being supplied to the meat and leather industry. They are able to exist only because of the dairy industry. So people need to find the connect. They need to know that it is only happening because of the way we've been consuming dairy. And there are a lot of people who are getting so much aware, and we get a lot of emails and calls from people who we, like either come across our videos or have come across they have had encounters where they felt that, oh, we have to like stop eating meat or
yes,
stop consuming dairy. And there has been, like I said, there has been a spike, on our website where people have been ordering or viewing vegan, recipes or vegan recipe videos. So yes, there's definitely been like a shift, and people also know that it is also causing harm to the environment. So it's not
yes,
just for like there are different people who care about different things. So I might care about animals, but then there is someone who cares about their own health, or
yes,
someone who's like a climate person, and everything is so connected, so interlinked.
yes,
Even I think United Nations also says that a shift towards a meat-free diet will help combat climate. The climate catastrophe. We don't no longer say we call it climate change, but it is a climate emergency, and a shift in your diet to a meat-free diet or a vegan diet is only going to help that. And people need to know that a person who goes vegan saves up to nearly 200 animals a year. So,
it. I'm going to send you all those researches very soon, so
please do.
you will have those scientific papers, because it's not only just the animal or the meat industry. It
Yeah,
also affects a lot of the environment and the climate.
right.
That can be sent. I'll be sending you all those very soon. Now,
Wildfires, what are these? Like, people have to like really pay attention, because it's not like, oh, we are going to get there, but it's already here, and we have to act now to help
yes,
save the environment, help save our own health. Like all these disease, cancers of different kinds, diabetes, obesity, we are already sitting on them, so we have to act now.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, what does real impact look like to you? A law changed, a trend shifted, or a single animal saved? Quite a difficult one.
No, but this is a good question, I must say. To me, Anil, real impact is anything that helps an animal. So this can be in the form of ensuring, birds have access to clean water, achieving a change in legislation, or anything in between, basically. A single animal rescued from suffering is a life transformed, and that matters deeply to that animal. You know, we can all help animals in small or big ways, but we have to start somewhere. So yes, there is a shift. There is a trend where like you've been seeing on social media, where people put out these cruelty videos, or they just start with smartphones. Everyone starts recording. So if someone sees a dog being hit or like abused, someone is going to put out a video, and then like a lot of people will come forward and start, oh, okay, like something needs to be done. So there is definitely a shift. It's just that, like, more and more people have to speak out.
Absolutely. Now, with so much suffering around, how do you avoid burnout? And how does your team stay motivated?
I mean, I think we are much more likely to burn out by not helping animals. What keeps me going and what keeps, our team motivated is remembering why we do this. Every time we see an animal rescued, or a law change, or a child choosing not to ride an elephant, those moments are something that just refills our energy. Like we just celebrate that, and we do celebrate wins at PETA. Like the entire family we celebrate wins which are like big, small, and we just support each other, and it's like a family over here. And we keep reminding ourselves that while we can't fix everything overnight, we are still making a difference every single day. And that is what is important. And I think everyone who's at like working at PETA India or who's involved with PETA in some way, they yearn for something that they feel for. And I think that is what is important. And and burning out, yeah, I don't think that is anything like more than what an animal is suffering, because like we have put them in that spot, like where we have caged a bird, you know and just think about their lives. So it's nothing compared to what we are going through.
That's very true. But sometimes, uh, I mean, just a small example. Because I speak to a lot of feeders and a lot of other vets even. We all tend to have a bit of burnout, but what you said, you have the support of your colleagues who help you avoid the burnout. Because uh, from what I understand, I mean, given my personal experience, if I would say, yes, when I was still starting out, I used to feel burnt out, because every time you see a suffering, it hits you back. Hey, I mean, you know, but fortunately now, over the period of time, I'm evolving. I'm talking to people. We're trying to build a community where people can talk when it comes to vets or feeders, rescuers. Because I think somewhere along the line, when you see this suffering, it does affect us emotionally, come what may. Because we believe that coexistence or the reverence for life has to be done by us. So yes, at times, even at times, even today, I do feel down and burnout sort of thing. But then, yes, you rightly said, why are we here? So that is the question that.
It's very important, Anil, and I'm sure you must have noticed this yourself. It is very important to surround yourself with people with the same mindset, people who care about the same things that you do. You know, because it's easy to get overwhelmed or get be sad, but it's very important that you are surrounded by people. Like you gave me that example of where your wife said that you saw that dog and she said that let's get this dog home, and like we'll see. And you need that kind of support. You need
Yes,
people like that who are with you in this fight. It's so important because that way you don't feel that you're alone in this like big world, and it will just help you navigate your way and just help more animals.
absolutely. I tell you, I mean, my wife has been my strongest support when it comes, because she's also one of the animal. She's also has the same point of view when it comes to reverence for life. So that is one reason, because we stand by each other, and we understand, that we all need to coexist. So yes, rightfully, she's been a very strong support system for me. Now, what's one animal story that you carry in your heart even today? A rescue or a campaign that left a mark on your soul?
Uh, to be honest, like in these 20 years, there have been like so many stories, so many, heart wrenching, heartbreaking, heartwarming stories. I would like to share two. One,
Please.
was I already spoke about Sundar, but I would like to repeat that, Sundar, the captive elephant.
Elephant, yes.
Yes, and his story is like closest to that I hold to my heart, and I'll never forget the video. The first time the video that we saw, like a whistleblower shared a video with us, and we were watching that video where his caretaker, Sundar's caretaker, uh, like was constantly beating him, and Sundar is screaming. I think he was making him lie down or something, and he was like constantly beating, and Sundar was crying while he was like still chained. Uh, the deep chain marks on his legs and the fear that we saw, like in that video itself. And then 2 years later, watching the video of him take his like first steps without any chains and walking on the grass, interacting with other elephants, that just felt so good. And just seeing him relearning what freedom feels like. So, Sundar's journey from suffering to safety wasn't just a rescue, it was like a movement powered by so many kind people, by veterinarians, lawyers, supporters, and, powerful voices like celebrity supporters who spoke up for him. So, it is, for me, it's the perfect reminder of why I do celebrity and PR work, like public relations work, to turn empathy into impact so that an animal who once only knew what pain was like and then discovered the joys of being in the open, like having companionship or being free. So whenever I feel like really heavy, like work feels really heavy, I think of Sundar, and I think that helps me then like carry on. And there is this other case where Pooja Bhatt, actor and filmmaker Pooja Bhatt. She's like a dear friend of ours, and she does so much for community cats. She has, adopted community cats, and she herself gets them sterilized, and so much that she does. She once called me, and when she found a hen, the hen had some sindoor or tika on like her body, and then I think Pooja asked people around, and someone informed her that this is like this you cannot touch this chicken, like this hen, because people have done some black magic. So some people had performed black magic, used her for black magic, and you were not supposed to, like, one is not supposed to like touch them, because then like whatever black magic has happened on that animal will pass on to you. And Pusha was like, no, this is like absurd, and she made sure that and because this hen was like so confused because she was left on the road, like in the middle of the busy road. Pooja made sure that the animal was brought to like safety, and then she called me, and she was like, Sachin, we like so like she shared some photos, and of course we went and we rescued the hen, and she was taken to a sanctuary, and nothing bad or evil happened to any of us.
That's true.
Like yeah, and I was like, people are like, we are so superstitious, and we are still stuck in those old times, and you're doing that to a poor animal who cannot defend herself or himself, and you're doing these things, and it makes me think that why are we doing this, like why are we doing this to defenseless animals, and the best part was like she was not like taken by someone to just slaughter and just eat her, but thanks to Pooja, who happened to notice her. She was like going somewhere, and she saw from her car, and she stopped. So it is so important that people, when you see an animal in distress, you see something bad happening, it's so important that you stop, and even if you feel that you cannot like do something, call for help. Like call for help, call someone, call PETA, call other groups, for help, and you will be surprised to know that there are groups out there who will, come to the rescue. So do that, and yeah, these two stories are like some of them that like make me think about the times, like about like what that animal must have gone through, and when I see their happy pictures, it just makes me happy, like these animals have they are the few lucky ones who's, they've got freedom, and the life that they were always meant to live,
Live,
and
absolutely.
and we took that away from them.
That's very true. And we I think over the period of time, we humans have forgotten that uh, even animals have feelings. They feel all the emotions. They are equivalent of humans. The only thing that they lack is what God has given us is a bit of thinking capacity, which we misuse.
Yeah, and we come across these news articles where they say, "Oh, a chimpanzee is smart. Recently, a chimpanzee was found doing this, or chicken was found doing this." Animals are smart.
Yes,
The animals are smart. It's just we don't, and they do speak. So I disagree with people who say that they are voiceless or they can't speak. They do speak, it's just that we don't understand the language.
On this, I can talk to you a lot because I have learned to understand how they speak. Because when I look into the eyes, uh, of the first one, Karma, or my today now, if we talk about Mira or Cookie, or even the ones that I take care at my mother's compound, the six. You look in their eyes, and you know what they talk, what they feel, the pain, the emotion. You can feel that uh, when they are afraid of the people, like the security guard showing them the sticks around, and if they
Yeah,
see me, standing down there, they'll just come hide behind me and stand behind me and tell me, hey, it is just that you have to learn to listen and understand. And
true.
even uh, you know just to take it a bit forward, uh, it's like you have to understand, because uh, for me, the six that I take care of in my mother's compound, I know in the evening between 4 and 5, they have this hunger pang, or they feel a bit hungry at that time, and I make sure that when I am there at my mother's building, you won't believe it. Apart from the morning and the evening feeding, that's a different story. But at that time, between 4 and 5, I know it's like, you know, now because I connect, even if I'm busy, working, I'll leave everything and I'll go down between that time, because when I get a call from inside, sort of thing, hey, you need to go in. And the moment I would open the door, because my mother's apartment is on the first floor, the moment I would open the door, you won't believe it, all of them would come running up to the first floor. And it's like they know. They'll be
Yes.
so happy. You see the tail wags happening, the way they'll start rolling over and everything. And you see, yes, that's the happiness. They're talking to you.
Talking to you, yeah, correct.
You just have to understand.
And they are so, I find animals so organized and so structured, because like if since you feed community animals dog, you'll see that when you start feeding them, they'll know the time. They
Yes,
exactly know the time. So if you go at a certain hour in the morning and in the evening, they'll automatically, wherever they are, they'll come to you. They'll come running to you. So they know, they do understand. They don't know how the clock works,
works.
but
Yes,
they still know that the human is going to come and feed them at this particular hour.
you won't believe it. It's been for years now, 4 years. Morning 5 o'clock, come what may, the food is there for them. Evening 7 o'clock, they know the food is going to be there for them. And then in the afternoon around 4 o'clock, I know, because at times, the kibbles that I leave sometimes get over, and when they want to come and peck, it's not there. So I make sure that even that is there, and I try and leave it overnight even. So if sometimes they want to come in the night, I don't want them to go hunting, because uh, no matter what you do, they still go scavenging at times, which my mother starts yelling at me. You give them food and look at it, they're still out there. I'm like, Mom, but that's their nature. What can we do about it?
Yeah,
But, it's sometimes, but you try. As far as my part goes, I know this is my part, and what you said, they're very structured. They don't know the clock, but they know. You
yeah,
won't believe it. There are times, this is very funny. There are times when sometimes okay, I'm an early bird. I wake up very early. But sometimes, even if it is 5:05, they will be all outside the door. Even before I open the door, they are all waiting out there, So, and my mother is like, see, they're all there. You have delayed by 5 minutes and they're all up. They're all up there. But anyways, there's a lot of other challenges that I face with the
and
society.
also like I would like to thank you, Anil, because you've been feeding community dogs, and it's so important because right now I do understand there's like so much happening, about feeders, and there's a conflict going on, and I want to just tell all the feeders that thank you so much for doing this, because people need to understand that because of the feeders, the situation is well handled. The dogs become friendly. It
Ye-
start trusting humans, and it will only help the municipal corporations to catch and sterilize them, neuter them. So I think feeders are doing most of the job.
I'll tell you what.
So it is important because I've been oftentimes these people who come to me and they say, oh, there are feeders and there's this issue happening, and they've been feeding dogs, but they are the ones who are helping the society. They are helping us to helping the corporations to municipal corporations to catch these dogs, because otherwise you won't be able to catch the dogs.
I'll tell you what. On this, I rather thank the Supreme Being that He chose me to do the part that I'm supposed to do. Let's not, because we all have a part to play. I believe because from the Supreme Being, if you believe in God, we all have a part and a role to play. And I'm blessed that, I get this opportunity to serve them. Let's be very honest, it's more of a serving that we do, offering our services. Now, what you rightly said, and what I would 100% agree with you, it is because of the feeders across the country, the millions of feeders who use their own pocket money and to feed these animals. And sometimes they do make appeals for funds, because yes, the kind of numbers they are handling, for me, I know I handle only 6 because that's what my limit is, and the other 10. But I know there are people who are taking care of 70, 80, hundreds. And yes, we all run out, and it's because of the trust factor that the dog has with us. We've been able to, sometimes we don't even wait for the government authorities. We get them sterilized. For me, you won't believe it. For me, I've done about 5, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 of them. I've done 5 sterilizations. I've paid from my pockets. I've used the NGOs, but okay, it's done at a discounted rates. That's a different story as compared to a private vet. But yes, I didn't wait. Because I had so much of my 85-year-old mother was threatened. Can you believe it? So I've gone through that even, but I made sure that I put my foot down in front of that entire community, which is quite a big community of 165 flats and 85 row houses. I had to fight all of them. And fortunately, I had some support from one of the NGOs where we got the SPCA, AWBI involved. And when the SPCA and all these guys came and they said, please, you need to get them neutered. I said, sir, I've already got it done. These kids would have also not been born, but because I had a very late, the date that was given to me by one of the foundations out here, on that date, this girl, this female dog, was on heat. And because she's on heat, you can't get the neutering done or your sterilization done. And due to that delay, because I was not aware that once the dog is a 6-month-old baby, you can get them neutered. It is, you see, as I said, even I'm learning and evolving. That's the reason the first 2 kids of her, the moment they were 6 months, right on the date, I had made the appointment with another NGO, and because it charges a bit less, so I was like, I'll send it to them. There's this NGO called Savo in Talegaon. They run it. And I called up the founders, Sarang, and I said, Sarang, I'm bringing them to, please help me. And the best part with this NGO was, it's not only, because most of us, we have this problem that after the surgery, you don't want the dog to be on the streets immediately. And with Sarang, with Savo, it is, they keep the dog up there until she is, all her wounds are healed. And one of my babies, when I had kept her, the 7-day period, she opened one of her wounds, one of the stitches. So we had to keep her for almost like about 2 weeks out there. And you won't believe it, he didn't charge me a red cent more from what we had decided. So imagine there are these people, when you hear stories like this, it's It's such heartwarming.
I always see people blaming the NGOs and saying, oh, यहाँ पे कुत्ता है, आप लेके क्यों नहीं जाते, आप क्यों नहीं करते? Everyone needs to understand that NGOs are NGOs. They are non-governmental organizations. They don't have funds. They are trying to do the best that they can. And like the least you can do is like not be so unkind to them. Like it's just they are trying to do their best, even when they are sterilizing. That's not their job.
Yes.
They're not supposed to do that. That's the job of the municipal corporation, the local municipal corporation. So they're trying to do so. Just don't put things on them. Don't blame them. And
absolutely, I think just for the record, I'll tell you, Savo is under a loan of about 245,000 plus, and still he keeps doing the sterilizations on every Sunday. He's been doing it every Sunday to Sunday. He has this sterilization campaign that he's running. And apart from that, can you believe it? He only charges you 1,500, which includes the sterilization, feeding, food, keeping the pup out there. As compared to a lot, if you take it to a vet, because we've taken our Karma to the vet and we know how much it charged us. Your private sterilization cost, as compared to that, your 1,500 is nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely. And there is a lot of things that I'm trying to do for them in terms of my capacity to help them raise those those debts to clear off. So yes, it's just a small part that we do. Anyways, let's take the conversation forward. For young people who want to be change makers for animals, what's your most honest advice to them?
Honestly, treat animals the way you want to be treated. That it's as simple as that. If you wouldn't want to be locked in a cage, know that animals do not either. So just be kind and start where you are with what you have, and don't wait for the perfect moment. To speak up for animals, because the perfect moment is now. And like I said in my conversation before, you don't need a title or a platform. So, it's social media. You have social media, and there are so many things that you can do in today's day and age. So whether it's sharing a PETA India video on social media, or choosing vegan food, or calling for help when you see a dog who's hurt, or if or some bird who's injured. Every action counts. You don't need a title or a platform to make a difference. Just need compassion and consistency. That's all.
All right. Taking to my last question of the session would be, if every listener of Tales of Hope could commit to just one action today, what would you urge them to do and why?
I would urge them to leave animals off their plate, because it's that simple. Just try going vegan. It's the single most powerful choice you can make to help animals, protect the planet, and improve your own health. Every time we sit down to eat, we have the opportunity to choose kindness over cruelty. It is said every vegan saves up to 200 animals a year just by not eating them. And the beautiful thing is, it's easier than ever. With so many delicious options available, you don't even have to sacrifice taste or tradition. The internet is full of delicious vegan, Indian, and other recipes. Now you can even make items like meat, yogurt, ice cream, all of these out of plants. So just try them out. It's the most simple thing that you can do for animals.
Now, this is where I leave the mic open to the guest. If they have any pet project, or they want to do a fundraise, or they want to create an awareness, I leave it up to the guest to make, speak their heart out.
Thank you so much, Anil. Thank you so much. And before making this appeal, I think this was a great conversation that we had today, and it was so good to know, what you're doing for the community. And I would just like to just share this message with people that whatever organization you're supporting, whatever individuals you're supporting, please do, please don't give up. And if you want to learn about, animals, or want to know about more ways to help animals, please log on to PETAindia.com or go to our YouTube page. Just look for PETA India, and there are so many videos. Share those videos with your families, with your family friends. And if you log on to PETAindia.com, there are petitions to the government. Just sign those petitions. Again, share it with your friends and family, and just speak up. Just do your bit. We're not asking you more. Just go sign a petition. Tell your inform your friends. And just pass on this good word. That's all.
Sachin, on behalf of everybody, I thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule to be with us on the show. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you so much, Anil. Thank you so much for having me.